Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another reading. If this video has found you, it should be for you. It's timeless, so it may be for your week, for your day, for your month, for your year, but from whatever time you have come across it. Just take what resonates with you and have a think about the rest. So just giving these a shuffle. And today I'm doing a short one, so just doing past, present and influences coming in the future, or challenges coming in for the future, and any advice around that with potential outcomes. So we have the Wheel of Fortune in past, the Death card in present, and the Star. So in the past, to me this represents today as a closing off of cycles. So things that had started at whatever time, coming to a close, coming full circle. But what I get about that is that the full circle comes back to you. So this year in particular, as always, but this year in particular, right now, the focus is really on us as individuals, more so than the collective. So it's like if something hasn't gone well for us in our perception of it, what responsibility do we need to take for that? How does it reflect upon us? What role have we played in it? This card's also about being able to tap into your passion and use your intellect to get the best out of the people around you. So you may be someone who's very resourceful, very diplomatic, just knows how to get the best out of people, can see people for whatever their personalities are or skill levels are or whatever else. You can see how you can put them to good use, if that makes sense. Now, I don't mean that in a manipulative way, but you're kind of aware, or you've had to learn this, that sometimes, particularly in the workplace, those who are closest to us can be, sometimes it's family and friends as well, to be honest, but can be the ones who have the most ability to harm us in some way or betray us in some way. They are the ones who, have a closer view than anyone else. So if they want to be a sly dog or a slippery snake, they've got the power to do that because they have access to information, data from us, whether it's around our work or personal lives. And so I feel like there's been maybe some lessons or sort of around really getting to know the people around you more, in terms of this person's good for this person's good for that, this person's good for this person's good for that, and you know how to talk to use people in a resourceful way. And again, I don't mean in a manipulative way, but to use people. I mean to put, what people are good for, and you know what they're not great at, so you know who to go to for what, if that makes sense, in order to achieve what you want to achieve. But also, I get with this, you know, as I said earlier, potential for endings, things that have come full circle, or things that you have worked on and you've gotten a return. So sometimes, you know, you might put a lot of effort into something and work on something over months or years and not get much return at all. But whatever it is, sometimes it's the other way around. Whatever it is, certainly this represents sort of like a closing off of an era, the end of a contract, something like that, the end of a relationship even, or things coming to a close, having come full circle, and then you're back. I feel like represents a period where things come to a stop, and then you're left to look at yourself, if that makes sense. There's an element, I'm getting a real sense of an element of reflection, self-reflection on this, and what's my role in this, what do I have to learn. And I think in the process of maybe seeking help, you've worked out which of your friends and family members or which of your work colleagues are good at what, if that makes sense. So if it was an ending of a relationship and it's left you in a bit of despair or feeling betrayed or alone or disappointed or whatever the words are, whatever the feelings are, that you go to your trusted friend, and your trusted friend gives you the worst advice ever because it's based on what they've experienced, and they don't quite have the experience in this particular topic, if that makes sense. Or they have a certain way of dealing with things in their lives, and in fact that has never come to a great result. But here you are asking them for help around this, and they're actually giving you bad advice. So you work out, okay, well, I go to this person for this, but not for that, if that makes sense. And then you get to see who your resources are. That's the word. Who your resources are. So if you see your people around you as influences and resources, they're your support network. So you can work out through this process of self-discovery and self-reflection, whenever you've gone to talk to different people, you've kind of worked out who's cottoning on, who's working, who can actually see things with clarity when I talk about my issues and what's happened to me and whatever else. Working out who you can trust and who you can't trust, who is clearer on things and sees things more clearly, and who is really good at having a bird's eye view of things, those that can empathise but not really give, are not really equipped with great advice. But the empathy, the compassion is, puts us in a good space for our self-healing, because we know someone's listened to us and cares. So I hope that resonates. And then the present situation, here we are, I was talking about endings and I didn't even consider this card. Here's the endings, but endings are new beginnings. So the end of an old era, the beginning of a new one. I think people fear change because in the subconscious mind, change for most people represents a death of something or a loss of something. So it brings up a lot of issues around instability, insecurity. Can trigger a lot of people on their stuff around the base root chakra, and feeling unsafe and what's going to happen to me now. And I thought I was heading in a certain direction, and suddenly I've had a tower moment, or I've had things have come full circle, and now here I am trying to work out what to do next. Just trust that you're on your spiritual path. You're being divinely guided. guarded and protected. There are some people who are not going to fully understand or be happy with the decisions that you make from here on in. And I would say to you, make decisions that make you, at least get you on the path towards feeling stable and more content in yourself and happy. I always say, do your self-care, but just know that this is meant to happen because you're ready for the new stage, ready for a new cycle. In this process of self-reflection, I feel like a lot of it's also the full circle and ending of old beliefs and thought patterns about yourself, about life, about those around you. So it's a real kind of coming of age, like we're growing up, we're leveling up, we're growing up. We can see things even clearer than we could before. And so looking at life through today's eyes, we'll make different decisions today than we made 6 months ago, even 6 weeks ago. So just trust that you're on the right path. Some people are moving house, moving into a bigger place. Just trust your intuition and seek the guidance of those who you truly respect and you've tested in terms of how they are as resourceful people with good advice and whatnot. And just know that this is for your greater good. So for some people, they brought this to a close. For other people, the close happened to them. So if some people feel like they're in control of the situation, other people don't feel like they've been in control of the situation, so a bit of a shock for them. So either way, though, trust that it is for your highest good. And whether you feel like you've made a mistake, or if you did it yourself, or whether it came as a shock to you, know that it's what's needed at this time. It's all in line with what's happening in terms of our highest good and the upgrades that are coming through. It's through this sense of, there's a sense of chaos here of not being in control and what do I do now? Even if you made decisions because you thought your hands were forced and all that kind of stuff. Just trust that you're in the space you're in now in order to affect change in your life and within yourself based on who you are today, because who you are today after having gone through this journey is a very different person, and you will continue to grow and to change. So what's coming in is the star, which is absolutely beautiful. So where you're headed is towards feeling a sense of great comfort. Actually, the opposite of these feelings, how these 2 cycles have made you feel. Really loving your environment, feeling at peace, being able to relax, connect with nature. It's also about connecting to the divine and having a stronger intuition, clearer picture of your life, clearer insights into yourself and where you're at. So that's really beautiful. I'm going to take out another card there. And you've got the Magician, which is equally as wonderful. So through all of this pain, if you look at my other videos, you'll see a theme that we have to be under pressure, emotional, mental, spiritual, sometimes it's physical pressure, in order to for things to come to a certain intensity that makes us feel really uncomfortable, and that's where we grow. That's where we have the ultimate ability or opportunity to grow, and through that pain we start really reflecting inwards. It makes us question our lives, ourselves, everything that I was talking about a little bit earlier, and when we come out the other end, it's kind of like going down into a tunnel, and we hit the bottom. That's the darkest point. This is just descending into darkness is what, it's despair and helplessness, hopelessness. But when we get to the bottom, we can see the light coming out the other side, from the other end of the tunnel. And so this process of absolute fear and despair puts us into a state where we have to really, it makes us really look at ourselves. I don't think the word reflect really covers it, but it really makes us reassess and reanalyze everything and question everything through our fear and despair. And then we see the light at the other end of the tunnel. But it takes us some time to get there, but at least we have hope because we can see the light. So sometimes what I'm trying to say is the darkest time for us is just before we're able to see the light. So isn't it like the darkest point of the day is just before sunrise? So we have to go through this transformation in order to start enjoying the higher frequencies, in order to start enjoying the benefits of our upgrades, which we could only have done through going through this discomfort. So the Magician is all about like creating heaven on earth for ourselves. It's all about being able to manifest what it is that we desire, using our intellect, passion, emotion, and physical abilities to be able to bring our dreams into reality. And we're talking about relationships and finances here. Being able to take advantage of the resources that you have available to you as well. This is the combination of these two cards for the influences that are coming is just phenomenal. It's fantastic. And then what we have here is, so there were a lot of lessons learnt back here. Because if I start putting cards back into the distant past, I think there's a story that's going to be told there. And what we're being reminded of here is to stepping forward into this, more prosperous, beautiful life where we're happier. As things improve for us, not to forget the lessons that we learnt back here. Not only around the resourcefulness of people or the resources that we have available to us, but the lessons of what we needed to achieve, do for ourselves in order to find balance within ourselves, to be able to carry into this energy. And those boundaries that we had to put in place. So this is a very much a self-love card for me. The feeling I'm getting here with justice today in particular is the out of self-love, this person weighs up how much personal space they require, what behaviours they'll accept from people, what behaviours they won't accept from people, their own personal standards with things, and then they will put in place boundaries and there's a very stern look on his or her face. So it's putting boundaries in place and then being very, very willing to and able to defend those boundaries. So this is someone who speaks up when they feel like their toes have been trodden on, or when someone's trying to take credit for their work, or someone's being ungrateful, or someone's not putting in as much as they are in a partnership, or whatever it is. This person really is aware and focused on fairness and justice. So particularly in how this person's being treated by other people. Okay? I'm going to do one last card, and that's the Hermit. And so that is a card that I would expect to see at this end, and that is because this is the card of self-reflection. This is a card of, so this is about someone taking this journey, and this is another lesson that's been learned, because when things go wrong or feel like they go wrong or come to an end or whatever, and we get sort of knocked down onto our bums, we're kind of forced to spend time to ourselves. It's through that process of self-reflection, of reflecting on the things, how we feel and think about our challenges at the time. It's through that we get the clarity over time. Because while everything's going good and we're looking forward and out into the world, there's no inner reflection. I feel like this is about balance again, about that our perspective and our focus is just as much inward as it is external. So life isn't stepping forward. Life isn't all about moving forward and looking at how we can affect our external life. It's actually about keeping in touch with our inner world as well, and how we're feeling and what our challenges actually are, so that nothing builds up. We don't create a dam, a reservoir of unprocessed stuff, if that makes sense. And these two cards go hand in hand. This picture here shows me that not only have we got a confident manifester here who really knows how to enjoy themselves and bring about good stuff in their lives, but we also have someone who's not afraid to do their inner work and do their, be reflective. It could be at the end of a busy day of all this output of energy into the world, that they actually are able to come and really sit with themselves and work out, is there anything I need to address with anybody? Is there anything I need to address within myself moving forward? And these are beautiful skills. So you've got the external and internal work going on. So a real balance of your external output and your internal focus as well, which is beautiful. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope it's helped somebody. And have a great day. I will put my email in the description box, but it's also in my profile if anyone wants a private reading, which is very different to this. Yeah, have a great day.